Call this meeting to order. Do we do a roll call? Okay, roll call.
Bill Cumberland. Margaret Finger.
Yes.
David Powell.
Yep.
Brad Daly.
Yes.
Claire Mullen. Lisa Oakes.
Yes.
Taya Smith. Kathy Maston.
Yes.
Youth on Board Ethan Brown.
All right. Do I do 1.1?
Yes.
Okay. Co-chair request staff confirmation that Kansas Open Meeting Act required notice has been properly provided.
Yes, it has.
Okay, awesome. And can we all take a moment of silence for the late chair, Bill Rowson? Thank you, everybody. Bill will be missed, definitely. And he left me the chair now, so I have to learn how to do everything. So can I get a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting on 2/6/20?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All right, motion approved. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Same sign for not. All right, that's been approved. So the new business, do I have to motion anything? You're just okay.
No.
So it looks like the new CRD work schedule is our new business.
Yes, and we actually had one of our board members ask before we started. So our community relations division is currently working part-time. We're open 4 days out of the week, and Evelyn works Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, 8 to 5, and then I work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 8 to 5. So there's 2 of us in the office 2 days out of the week, and then the other 2 days out of the work schedule, there's only 1 of us in the office. And so we're trying to do our best to keep up with everything and to make sure someone is in the office as much as possible.
Okay.
So you guys try to reach out to us, or if you guys have a concern or a call and nobody answers, please leave a message or email us, and we'll get back to you as soon as someone gets back into the office. So.
All right. Sounds good. So we'll move to unfinished or other business. The commissioner term review is the first.
Yes, I definitely wanted to, where the office wanted to take some time just to go over the terms, board member terms, just so in case you weren't aware. Dr. Finger, you are on your first term that ends August 31st of 2020, so at the end of this year. If you haven't received an email to extend or to reapply, please let me know if you're interested.
I did, and I already applied.
Oh, great.
I already reapplied.
Awesome. Sometimes those emails get lost, or they never get to members that are interested, and so we just want to confirm and make sure that you're actually getting the email. And so you are able to serve a total of 2 terms consecutively. After that, you have to wait about a year, and then you can start your first term again. Mr. William Cumberland is on his first term. He is also expiring in 2020. And then our youth on board, Ethan Brown, is on his second term. He's been with us for a couple years now, and he is also expiring this month in 2020. David Powell, you're on your first term. You're expiring August 31st, 2021.
Okay.
Kathy Maston, second term, expiring August 31st, 2021. So Kathy, if you were to want to participate again, you'd have to wait a year,
Okay.
and then you could come back and start applying again to participate. Claire Mullen is on her first term, also ends August 31st, 2021. Brad Daly's first term, August 31st, 2022. Lisa Oakes, first term, August 31st, 2022. Taya Smith's first term, August 31st, 2022. And then we do have 1 vacant spot. And so I do believe we have had some interest forms, so there's been some community members that have been interested. So hopefully by the next time we meet in November, we won't have any vacancies. That's the hope, is that we'll be able to have a full board. Does anybody have any questions on their terms or any questions on this information?
So is there, like you said, this is the second part of my term.
Mhm.
I've been on this board years ago and
Mhm.
it came back. Is there any amount of times that you can serve? Any limit on that besides having a break in between?
I can double check, but what I've been told is as long as you have a year break in between 2 consecutive terms, you can come back.
Okay.
And then it comes back as you're on your first term.
Okay.
But I'll definitely double check.
Okay.
Make myself a note here and check, and then I'll email that out. Okay.
Alrighty, the next item we have is the survey question discussion. I know the last time we met, or no, before the last time we were supposed to meet, I think we had a special meeting planned to discuss all that. So I would like to motion this, I don't know if this is the right time to do that, but to schedule another special appointment or meeting to be able to discuss that further.
Yeah, definitely.
So I motion that we schedule a special meeting to discuss the survey questions like we were going to previously. So I motion that, right?
We need someone to give a second.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, motion approved. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. How do we schedule that? Do we just throw out dates right now, or
We can either go through dates right now, or we can, I can do a survey email, and you guys can let me know which, to see which date works best for everyone.
Does the Survey Monkey work for everyone else? And she'll throw a couple dates out, and then we'll just agree on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll do it that way. Okay.
Can
Is
I
there
get
any way
an
you
idea?
could move it to like 4 o'clock or something?
That's what I was going to ask. Can I get
Yes.
an idea of this later in the afternoon?
I would prefer 4 o'clock as
I
well.
would too,
Okay.
I
because
can
being
do that
at the
too.
school, we need a little bit later.
Okay.
And maybe after Labor Day.
Okay.
Okay.
Let us get these kids in school.
That's been a big mess.
I'm only available Wednesdays and Thursdays because I work.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Then I'm normally available anytime.
Okay.
Just
So probably not this week, but definitely by next week, you just if you look at your email, you guys should get a survey to see with a couple different times, and then once we get at least as long as 5 of you can attend, that'll be the first date that 5 of you can attend. I'll send out the email if that's when we're going to meet for
Okay.
the special meeting.
sweet. Oh, good. Thank you. All right. Is any other discussion on that? Okay. Move to the next item, which is ADA concerns.
Yes. We wanted to, I know there has been some questions in the past as far as our cases and how many of them, related to disability. And so we just wanted to, we did a quick breakdown of just looking at cases that had closed this year. And so we can't go into too much detail just for confidentiality, but this is information we can provide. We do employment, housing, and public accommodation. When it comes to employment, we've closed one earlier this year on the basis of race, color, and disability, and it was conciliated. What that means is that they agreed to come together in a meeting and have kind of a mediation and come up with a settlement versus actually going through an investigation and possibly going to court, depending on if the Human Relations Commission deemed it probable or not probable cause. And so conciliation is something that we always provide in our office throughout the whole entirety of a case. And so it's one of the first things we talk about with both parties. Well, and if they're not interested at the time, if we're in investigation, we'll bring it up again, and then at the end we'll also bring it up. So it's something we constantly are trying to just let everyone know that it's there.
Like a mediation?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that one was closed in February and it was conciliated. We currently have 2 other cases that are in employment that also have a basis of disability, and they are currently open.
Can you tell us if it is like a case of building access, or is it a case of materials access, or?
So the employment, so the cases that we would take in our office would be somebody felt that they were treated differently because of their disability, because they have a disability.
Okay.
Or like the second one would be they felt that they were treated differently because of their race, their color, and disability. And the second one under that, you see that their race, disability, and they requested a reasonable accommodation, and it was denied. And so it's not necessarily that and they could come in and say, you know, I requested they put in handlebars, or I requested they put in something, a modification, you know, so that the building could be more accessible to me. But we haven't received any of those. It's mostly they feel that they were treated a specific way, or they were denied a reasonable accommodation in either work or housing or public accommodation.
Because I think when we discussed this last time, it was almost a flow from or a flow to the survey to kind of know what type of survey questions
Yep.
and what directions we kind of wanted to find information about.
I will say, when I first started, we did get a number of calls. There was a lot of development going, and I've been here for 3 years, so things have changed, and we haven't got as many calls saying, you know, we got calls about the mall, that, you know, that they had a concern. So it wasn't a complaint we had in our office. It was just a person who had a concern that they weren't, you know, that there wasn't any accessible parking, or there wasn't, the doors weren't accessible, or they were too, the weight on them. There's a certain percentage, you know, of the weight and things of that nature. I know when the field house opened, we had our board go out and take a look at it, and there was concerns that were brought up, and so then, you know, we take those concerns to the Parks and Rec and let them know, hey, these are some things that we need to be changed. Recently, we really haven't received any of those phone calls.
Those types.
Right.
Yeah.
I do remember last time, Dr. Finger, you had mentioned in the downtown area, the chirping.
Can I share a story with you?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I'm part of a huge nationwide advocacy group called National Federation of the Blind. And we work on advocacy. We work first to educate, then to mitigate, and last resort, litigate. And this is just a situation I had before I left Texas. I was working at a skilled nursing facility as an OT, and all of a sudden we were getting all these patients that were 450, 500 pounds. And I thought, well, this is interesting, and as I was working with them, I started looking at the wheelchairs and the shower chairs and the bedside commode, and I started researching them, and they were only guaranteed to 300. So I requested a meeting with the administrator, and I said, it's come to my attention that we have all these patients that are 450 pounds and 500 pounds, and none of the equipment we're using is guaranteed to hold that weight. I said, I'm not telling you what to do, and you can do whatever you want to do. But if one of those wheelchairs pops over, one of the shower chairs splits, and somebody ends up on the floor and breaks a hip, I'm not getting sued. 2 days later, we got all this new equipment.
All this very
Yeah.
So I educated Dan. I'm going to mitigate. I'm going to have my husband take me to, there's a one of those lights in my neighborhood that works right.
Okay.
I'm having him take a video
Okay.
of me going across there. And then I'm going to take the camera and my husband downtown and show him how those are not working, and I will send them to you guys, and you
Okay.
can share it with them, because if someone gets run over, I'm not going to get sued.
It's been a problem for a while too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we definitely want to make sure that, you know, that concern gets taken care of. I know it's, I actually looked back, sorry, another board member, I think, just sent a message. Oh, I think he's here.
There was someone out in the hall.
Yeah.
Maybe they were confused when it wasn't in the same place too.
I think he was worried that he couldn't come in because he was running late. Excuse me, guys, sorry.
He had on a blue shirt.
Yep, I don't see him, but if he does come back, if you see him, just wave him on in. Okay, I apologize, guys. We definitely want to make sure that, you know, that these things these concerns are being addressed. I went back through some of the emails, and I do know that there was some emailing back, you know, with Dan, and so we just want to make sure that that's something as we continue on with the, you know, there's a whole bunch of development going on in Salina, and so we just want to make sure that it's getting taken care of and it's done correctly so that it's accessible to everybody. So if you would CC Evelyn or one of us on that, just so we're aware, so we can also track.
Well, I'd probably have to send it directly to you. I don't know that I have his contact
Oh,
information.
okay,
I've only communicated with him once, and it was over the phone, and it was he that called me. So
Okay.
I don't know that I even have his email.
Okay. But yeah, we definitely, if you send that to us, we will make sure to get it forwarded to him, and we'll CC you on the email, so you'll have that information, and that way we can all keep track of it. But yes, if there's other concerns like that, or even if you guys were to hear anybody, you know, in town ask questions or have concerns like that, those are definitely things that I believe in this meeting we will also want to address, that special meeting when we come up with questions for the survey.
One question I have about this, what is the typical amount of time that happens before something gets done? Because I saw those were back in what, June and July of last year. So how long does that typically go until that's taken care of?
So every case is different. We go off of HUD's model for housing when it comes to employment and public accommodation. Best practice would be to try to get it taken care of within the first 100 days. That's not always the case, because most of the time you're dealing with, the respondents will get lawyers, you know, they get brought into the mix, or you get on trying to, you know, you have to send out, it's kind of these steps where you have to send out, you can call somebody, but you have to wait for them to confirm that they received the specific letter that justifies that they got this, and then they have to send it back. And so we've definitely been working on trying to, especially now with not being able to just go to an office in person and you know, have these conversations and doing everything over the phone and scanning or faxing, trying to see where we can improve on the process of it. We'll see cases, so these aren't all of the cases we have, these are just the ones currently open or recently closed that deal with disability. We definitely have, I will say we just closed, well, those up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And as you can see, so for instance, this one was opened in June of 2019 and it didn't close until February of 2020. But then this one opened January of 2020 and closed in February 2020. So that was, you know, about a month.
Right.
So you have anything spanning through we have some that are, you know, been open over a year, and then we have some that within a couple weeks they get conciliated, or they get taken care of to where it's closed. If there's a resolution, sometimes they decide that they don't want to go through with it, or that they feel like they've been able to resolve it on their own and they don't want to go through the process anymore, and so we'll close it per their request. So it just really depends, and it varies. And then we don't have any public accommodation cases that have disability as the basis.
Okay.
What are some of the other endpoints, like closed NPC, no CP contact?
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
So MPC means that this case went to the Human Relations Commission. They reviewed the investigation and they decided that there was no probable cause of discrimination.
Okay.
And so our office doesn't make that determination. What we do is they investigate it. We gather all the facts that we can, ask, do interviews, gather documents, everything that we can on a case. And then all of that is presented to the Human Relations Commission. 3 commissioners are chosen randomly to read over the case. And then it's a, 2-to-1. So if 2-to-1 think there was probable cause, then that means that we can then it gets handed over to the commission's legal attorney and they can take that to court on behalf of the commission. But if they believe there was not probable cause, meaning they don't believe that it had to do with discrimination, then it comes back MPC, and at that point we let both parties know that we can no longer move forward with the case and it's closed in our office.
And that occurs after you try to do conciliation first on everything first?
Yes, yes.
And if you can't get through it with conciliation, then it goes in front of the...
Open investigation.
Okay.
So it's intake. Once all that's received, then notification is sent out. The complainant, which is the person that believes they've been discriminated against, obviously is aware that the complaint has been opened. The respondent, which is the person they believe has discriminated against them, is sent out a letter and they have 10 days to respond to us.
Okay.
So that would be that second step. Then once we get communication with the respondent, that's when we try to do conciliation. That's the first attempt of conciliation. And both parties have to agree to it, that they want to participate in that. If either party does not want to participate in that, then it automatically goes into open investigation. And that's the part that can take as little or as long, depending on the situation. Once all of that's collected, then it goes before the Human Relations Commission, and then they decide whether it's probable cause, which is PC, or not probable cause, which is MPC. So this one was no probable cause. This one, it's a disability, it's open. They come back probable cause, meaning so it's still open, but now it's really out of all of our hands. Now it's gone into the legal. So it's still open, but it's not necessarily, we're not working on it as much anymore.
Okay.
This one closed, no CP, it means complainant contact. This means that we had somebody come in, we got through the process, the first 3 steps of it. During the open investigation, at some point we lost contact with them. We send out, and before we can close it to no contact, at this point we've done at least 6 different phone calls. We've reached out to emergency contacts. We've mailed different letters. If somebody put a relative down, we've tried to contact them. If somebody put like a caseworker or somebody that they work with, we try to reach out to them. So we try to exhaust everything before actually closing it, and letting them know, please, contact us and let us know if you, would want to move forward or not want to move forward. And so eventually we just have to close the case out. And so those are the no CP contacts. Withdrawal without resolution means that the complainant decided to not move forward and they did not let us know that there was any resolution. And so we are unaware of if their complaint got taken care of or did not get taken care of. They just didn't want to move forward with the process anymore. And then conciliated, again, is that a settlement was reached and both parties agreed to that settlement.
May I ask a question? Are the details of these complaints a public record?
Once it is closed, they are, as long as they have not been, on very rare occasions, some cases are deemed by the Human Relations Commission, depending on the basis or what's happened, they can make it confidential. But if that's not the case, they are open to public record. You would just have to go through the city clerk's office and do the process of what it takes to get, to get documents.
Do we have any more discussion? Okie doke, we'll move on to the next one, 4.4, and that's ADA case roster.
Oh, I think that's the one
Is that
we
the same
were-
thing?
Yep.
Okay. And then 4.5, the next meeting will be on 11/5. Now that's our next AAB meeting, but we're gonna schedule the special meeting somewhere in between, which we've already discussed. Is there any discussion about anything we've gone over?
I did want to share, we weren't able to, so most of you know our youth on board, Ethan Brown. He wasn't able to be here today. This would have been his last meeting.
He's going to college.
He is, and so I just wanted to share, because he has been, we have definitely enjoyed having him, you know, on this board, and he has been a great, I believe he's just really been a great asset to it. And so I just wanted to share with everyone. He did write and say, you know, he wished he could have been here, but he had to go out of town. He will be a freshman at K-State in the fall. He will be a part of the Universal Design and Accessibility Council and the Multicultural Council representing the Student Access Center at K-State. So that's, I
He's
mean,
gonna keep
Right,
going.
yeah.
yes, I told him, you know, there's no doubt that he's going to be doing great things wherever he goes. So just wanted to share that with you all. We definitely wish him the best. And so our regularly scheduled meeting will be for November 5th of 2020. But before that, within the week, I will be sending out a Survey Monkey to try to coordinate a special meeting so that we can talk about the survey questions that we had discussed back in February.
And I just wanted to add that it's nice to note that this year is the 30th anniversary of the ADA.
Yeah. We've been going to all kinds of conferences virtually and
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff for that.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yes, it is. And then the time for the next meeting will be determined when that gets closer.
So the regular one in November will be at the same time. It's the first Thursday at 3.
Okay.
But the time for the special meeting is I can make it later in the day.
All right, guys. Do we have any other discussion to go around? All right. I will make a motion to adjourn. Or do I have to?
Someone will need to make a motion, and then
Yeah.
someone needs to second it.
I'll motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion carried. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Everyone against, same sign. All right, motion carried to adjourn. Thank you everyone for coming. And we will see you at the special meeting when that becomes official.
Thank you, everyone.